Hey, it's me again with my pretty raw English, trying to share some stories from down here in Brazil. Our next tale is gonna be about the Saci, or at least that's what the guy I talked to thinks it is. So today is just gonna be a quick video explaining the Saci Pererê. And don't forget, if you've got any questions about Saci, tips for the story, or even fixes for my terrible English, drop in the comments, alright? The roots of Saci Pererê go back a long way, before 1500, and are generally linked to the indigenous people of southern Brazil, especially the Guarani people. The myth probably began to take a shape we know it around the late 18th or early 19th century, during the colonial times. At first, he was forest spirit called Yaciatere or Jaciatere. This tricky figure would both look after nature and pull pranks, like luring kids into the woods or messing with travelers. In Guarani tradition, the Yaciatere was described as blonde-haired dwarf. Perhaps this emerged after contact with Europeans, as there is another mention in appearance that an indigenous screaming boy with a tail. Either way, it's quite different from the modern Saci. According to the ancient inscriptions, he carried a magical staff that symbolized his power. In these descriptions, he had both legs and was the more typical trickster from the mythologies. The legend spread across southern Brazil and reached the neighboring countries like Paraguay, Argentina, and Uruguay, where the Yaciatere gained the locals' variations. For example, in Argentina, he seduced a young woman, while in Paraguay, he could drive children mad or deaf. He was more feared and respected than being people actively tried to capture. Some stories suggest that avoiding him or appeasing him with offerings was more common than confronting him directly. By the 9th century, the Saci had already changed. He was known in Tupi as Saci Pererê, which can be translated as jumpy evil wise. His image was shaped through oral narratives, in which he appeared as a guardian of the forest, knowledgeable about medicinal herbs, but also restless and mischievous being. At that time, the Saci played tricks such as braiding horses' manes, whistling to scare travels, hiding objects, and creating ruins. He wasn't necessarily evil, but his prank could be interpreted as malevolent or merely playful, depending on who was telling the story. Only later was there talk of the way to capture him. One had to throw a sieve into the ruin and take his cat, trapping him in a bottle. Over time, the original tale mixed with other culture. From the African influence brought by slave people came the idea that Saci lost a leg fighting capoeira. It's like a martial art that's a symbol against oppression. The pipe smoke habits might have come from indigenous or African roots too. Then the Portuguese added the head cap, linking him to their own folklore Strasgo, an owl creature with a magic head hat. Well, Saci started an indigenous forest spirit and picked up traits that mirror Brazil's blended culture. In the 20th century, the Saci became fixed as we know him today, thanks to the writer Monteiro Lobato. In 1917, Lobato, through questions published in the newspaper O Estado de São Paulo, asked readers to send their Saci stories. Since at that time, the stories were already about the modified version of the Saci. That was the image he managed to capture. Thus, he published Saci Pererê, o resultado de um inquérito. Saci Pererê, Result of an Inquiry. In 1918, he compiled the responses and organized the material, creating the initial study of the Saci figure in the Brazilian culture. This work has more anthropological and documentary character than a literary one. However, it lacks his true origin. So that's the journey of a character who still spooks some folks around here, with people even claiming they've run into this wild, fantastic being. But tell me, what version you like best? If you had to catch a Saci with a sieve, what do you do with him after? Ever seen a whirring around?